Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for coming back. And this is a follow-up on one of the previous videos in which I was trying to maiden flight the Mosquito. I think I did a total of 3 attempts and it didn't work basically. It hasn't flown. On the last attempt I did a hand launch and it kind of glided, but it didn't really fly, and on the crash landing the propellers, or let's say the gearbox mount, so where the engines are mounted, kind of got crooked. So the approach on this chapter, on this video, is going to be to try to fix it. So let's see how that goes. I do feel that it was underpowered, so I'm probably going to change the propeller hubs to make them a bit lighter and see if it will ever fly. That's a key point. So the first thing, as I was mentioning, is to take off the propeller hubs and try to dismount the propellers and see if I can get at the engine mounts, and let's see how I do that. When I was building it, in case you remember, it's really very solidly built. The nacelles are very solid because I was hoping it would resist a hit. The nacelles did resist a hit, but the engine mounts didn't. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take off the propeller hubs and let's see how it goes. So the propeller hub is off, but if you remember, I actually glued the propeller holder to the prop saver, I think it's called, that usually just pops off because they were falling off on their own. So I glued those together, and now I'm paying the price of that as I can't take it off. And so what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to take off the prop saver from the gearbox axle directly to see if I can get access to the gearbox. I'm not sure if I'll manage, or if I'll maybe just try to fix it as is, because this one is not coming off. I might try to do the same on the other side, because I do remember that the left propeller actually was falling off with the whole mount. So I'll continue to battle a little bit with this one. So the left propeller mount has come off completely, which might mean that this piece might be broken somehow or damaged. Let's see if I can reuse it or not. Now at least I can get at the gearbox, but well, I can't really get at it because it's really embedded in there, right? So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it to fix it in. I'm thinking how to do it, and this one moves much more, but it needs to be somehow stiff up like this. I would really like to take this piece off because that will give me access. I'm thinking I might be putting in some strip of wood just in front of it to hold it in place, but being very careful not to let any glue fall into the gear system itself. So I'm going to battle this one a little bit more. Let's see if I can get it out without damaging the rest of the mounting. So the first battle is over. I've taken off all the propeller mounts, and as I was mentioning, I have to see how I can fix the gearbox without extracting the whole engine nacelle, because I can't. I haven't designed it to be opened up, which might be a lesson learned for future models, to try to design them in a way that they can be somehow taken apart for retrofitting without having to cut into the wood. So I'll tidy up a little bit the mess, and then I'll see how I tackle then the next battle. So this is the plan. I'm going to take the caliper, which is a great tool. If you don't have it, then I recommend you use it. I'm going to measure here the width of this hole, and then I'm going to cut strips of this balsa. This is a 5x5, I believe, or 4x4 is it? 5x5 millimeter balsa, and I'm going to jam it in that hole and hold in the engine mount like this. It's still going to be a bit loose, but it will prevent it from pulling out on its own when the propeller turns. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. This left engine is not so loose, so I hope that that will be fine. This one is indeed a bit looser, so I really have to make sure that that is well and truly glued in to make sure that it holds out. So that's what I'll be doing now. I won't torture you with all the small steps, and I'll show you then the result when it's stuck and before I set the propellers on. So wish me luck. Look what I've discovered. If I turn one propeller, the other one also turns. So I suppose it's the engine becomes a generator and it sends some electric impulse, and then the other one also turns. It turns also both ways. So anyhow, that's a side note. A bit of what I've been doing, or actually I finished it already. I put in the little piece of balsa there to hold the engine mount, and I've reused the same propeller mounts, so the ones that are glued together, which is not good because it means that if the propellers hit the ground spinning, they might break. They won't pop off, but at least they're going to be rather fixed to the engine mount, so hopefully they'll hold out. I'm using it also because I don't have so many more pieces and I don't want to wait for new pieces to come. I've also put on this right side, I've put a propeller which is a bit broken again because I want to reuse what I have, and that will have hopefully a bit less thrust, because if you remember from the test it was tending to turn left a lot, so hopefully it will also compensate it a little bit. And before I fire it up and I'll show you, I'll also show you what I did. I recalibrated the ailerons, but they're still not turning as much as I wanted. And also with the tail, with the elevator, one thing that I noticed is that it didn't go up and down very much. If you remember, I have the hinges on the edges, which was very fancy, but then the middle part was constantly not working well, so I've put a hinge in there, and I hope now it has enough effect. So let's see how it goes. It overall seems to point downwards, which again, it's all my mathematical calculations are close to nil and just like estimating everything. As it's now going to be more tail heavy, it'll hopefully have a tendency to turn up on its own, and then the tail with its downward, let's say downward trend, will compensate it and push it a bit down, so hopefully it will be somehow stable. If I pick it up by the wing tips, which is more or less where the center of gravity should be, the battery is now inside, so it's kind of a little bit of tail heavy, and let's see if that holds it. And what else have I done? Let's see, if I open up the battery compartment, I broke a little bit the battery compartment trying to squeeze the battery in. So what I've done, I don't know if you can appreciate it, if you can see it, I've done a little bit of a cutout here to put the battery in, and I've got also a weight in there to compensate for the lack of weight at the front of the engines, because those hubs, even if they were quite light, they did have some weight. They did have some weight in front of the center of gravity. So now I'll try to connect it. Let me do the spinning of the propeller again, just for fun. I'll connect it up, and we'll do a bit of a test run, hopefully. Let's see. Okay, this is in, and I hide it in here, and I turn on the controller, and let's try the propellers first. So engine's active. I hope you can see this. Can you see it? So they seem to be pulling, and as they're glued together and they're not heavy and they're quite balanced, they seem to be working. Let's see if you can see the ailerons. A little bit of aileron activity to the right, less than to the left, which is confusing. Lesson learned to myself is also using the hinge that is inside. If you remember it, there's a hinge inside the wing that I could probably use the leverage a bit better. And let me show you then the tail. Let's see if you can see it. So there's the up elevator, not very much. Down is quite good. Up, not very much. Down a lot. So I'm hoping that, as I say, with a tail heavy overall design, I'll have to do maybe more of down elevator, and the up elevator will just be enough, and then right and left, that I think is enough. Doesn't need to be much. So that's pretty much, I'm going to say, set to go. I'm a bit worried, of course, before any maiden, but now the next step is going to be to find a suitable day, and I'll go out there to the airfield, and I'll see if I can get it to either roll off, like take off from a ground run, and if not, then to do a hand launch. So now it's going to be about finding the right day early in the morning probably, and let's see what comes out of that one. So thank you for following on this one. I'll keep you posted on the next maiden flight, the third or fourth attempt at the maiden flight, and let's see if it flies this time. Thank you everybody, see you later.